Hello, good evening. Welcome to the Fit Fatherhood podcast. This is our second official week outside of our little initial week. I am your host, Zach Bush. I'm here with my friend, my partner, business partner,
Yeah,
Nathaniel.
yeah. They-
Nathaniel, thanks for coming on. Thanks for being on today. It's always fun. We're doing it on Monday rather than Tuesday. We have the holidays coming up, the end of the year's coming, and with that, we have food and drinks and parties and all of that fun coming up. And that's why we wanted to get on here. We wanted to make sure we continued the podcast, but we wanted to really talk about and kind of tease the challenge that we have coming up in the new year to reset yourself from the last probably month since Thanksgiving
yeah,
and get you a little background on what that is, what you have in store, how you can kind of get in contact with us to see if it's the right fit, if it's something you want to jump into. Hopefully, get enough information. But other than that, Nathaniel, do you have anything you would like to add to that intro?
yeah. Like you mentioned, we have Halloween, which is orange candy. If you choose to partake, we have Thanksgiving, which has a bunch of delicious foods that we eat, and then it just all blends into Christmas, which is holiday festivities. Like you mentioned, drinking. A lot of people like to drink, and we eat a bunch of cakes and pies and things like that. It's okay if you decide to indulge. Um, we tend to, or we have a tendency to, at least I do, like get down on ourselves for having a cookie or a cake or something. I have been I went off the deep end a little bit. I had a cookie right before this, as a matter of
Yeah,
fact.
yeah, you
Um,
did.
but I know that in a week, once this is all done, challenge or not, we're going to do this because we want to help other people build the foundational habits of healthy, well, rounded lifestyle. But I'm jumping right back on the train. It's going to be very easy for me to kick the cookie habit and all those things. So give yourself grace right now as we're going through the holidays. Enjoy it because when you're with family and you're having your drink of choice or your cake or your pie, whatever you enjoy, it you only live once, so to speak. We're doing things like 95% of the way, and so that
Mhm.
5% is for us to enjoy while we're here. But we have this challenge we're going to talk about that is going to build real foundation. Like think of our health like a pyramid, our flexibility, our exercise, all these things are like a pyramid. If we don't have that strong base, the top of the pyramid crumbles, right? You're not going to be able to do handstands or like 20 freaking pull-ups if you can't just hang from a bar, or if you can't hold your body weight up just easily. So we're building these foundational things right now in 2 weeks. New Year's resolutions, a lot of the times we hear, oh, I want to lose weight. We're going to talk about how to set freaking good goals. I'm getting ahead of myself. Zach, stop me.
I was gonna feel you're on a roll.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
I think a couple of things that you said. The foundation is important. That's what this challenge is meant to do. It's only 5 weeks, so you're not going to get everything for the rest of your life ready to go in that 5 weeks. But what it's going to do is it's going to create that consistency and that foundation to take us long term. To make those lasting changes, it needs to be a slow and steady change rather than that all or nothing diet. Right? We could put you on a 30-day diet. You'd lose a bunch of weight, but most of the time you'll go right back to gaining it all back. So we need to take the time to build that habit. And that's what this challenge is meant to kick off that habit building to keep it rolling in through until you have more and more of those foundations. And with those foundations, you also mentioned earlier about giving yourself grace and enjoying the time, the festivities, the holidays, the food, the drinks, all of that stuff now. But when it comes back to that stuff is over, it's getting right back on the horse and going right back at it. And I think that's the common thing is that you feel like it's all or nothing mindset where I need to be completely strict, or if I don't, I might as well just go all in at this point. And that's not the decision you need to make. It's the what am I going to do right after this? Yeah, it happened. I enjoyed it. I had a good time. Now how can I move forward with it? And I think that's something that I've learned where I've gone the full strict count every calorie that comes in, and it's you see results from it for sure. But I'm at the point now where I can let things go a little bit, but I know on Monday that I'm right back on it, or right after the holidays I'm right back on it. And that's what the challenge is supposed to help you be able to have that confidence in yourself, the confidence in the habits that you've built over the last 5 weeks, or what you're going to build in the next 5 weeks, that you can make those decisions to move forward and be past in the past. Let's start new. Let's do well. Because it's just about being consistent and being good most of the time, and every once in a while letting it go. And that's totally fine. So that being said, now that I've kind of ranted for a little bit, do you want to talk a little bit about kind of tease what the weeks are and break down, on a high level, what you might get out of this?
Yeah. So we don't want to give too much away. Because if we give all 5 weeks off off the bat, you might just want to jump ahead and start doing week 5. But like we're saying, this is a building block. So we're going to start off really basic and finding places that we can fill in gaps, both in our days and in our diets, the 2 Ds. I just made that up right now. And so I'm not going to say a whole lot more than that, but if you're coming inside the Fit Fatherhood community, we have a lot of extra little fun things planned. We're going to make this a game. We're going to kind of gamify it a little bit, and we're going to have a leaderboard where they're scoring. We haven't figured out exactly how things are going to point wise, but we don't want to discourage you from following along if you're not coming into the community, because you will still get value out of it. But where the Fit Fatherhood community, the members that are coming in here, are really going to excel is because we're all going to be doing this together. We're all going to be talking about what's working and what's not working. We're going to be sharing wins. And like I mentioned, there's going to be that leaderboard there. So if you're like, man, if I just, and I'm not saying that this is what we're going to do, but if I just do 3 extra pull-ups tomorrow, I might be in the number 1 spot or the top 3 or something. So it's going to kind of motivate you, hopefully, if you're a little bit competitive like Zach and I are, to do a little bit more, do a little bit extra the next days. To go back on your point of, counting calories and doing everything super stringent, like Fit Fatherhood is not about, we're not going to go be competing in physique competitions, although you could, like applying the principles that we're talking about there, you could take it to another level. We're just about being whole, well-rounded dads for our families, so we can play with our kids and hang out with our kids for a long time and be there and be strong role models for our families. I don't want to sit down on the mat. There's a play mat right here next to me, and I don't want to play cards on the floor with my kids and then it be difficult for me to get up and do my job the next day. I want to be able to get on the floor, play with them, have a good time, wrestle with them, get their energy out, and then I can get back and get up to work and stuff, and I'm not just sore. Yeah, we're gonna have little tweaks and aches, pains every now and then, but you shouldn't hurt for 3 days after wrestling on the floor with your toddlers. That's not what Fit Fatherhood is about. So dang, we're just going back and forth rambling.
I love it. No, it's good. I was about to jump in. And so, I mean, the challenge, we didn't want to dive into specifics on everything, but we're going to look at how are you spending your time? What are you eating? Yeah. And from there, we'll be able to figure out and see where we can help with the other things. Where can I fit in? Hey, we want to make sure we get enough water. Hey, we want to add in some exercise or increase the exercise that we're doing. And then add a little bit extra, good food for us, whether it's veggies or more proteins or whatever that looks like. And then focus on hey, this is, Fit Fatherhood. So we're fathers, we're husbands. We want to make sure that we're there for the family as well. So how can we take what we learned at the first part of the challenge is what are we doing with our time? What are we doing with our food? How can we improve those and make sure we create slots of time for everything as we continue through the challenge? Yep. So you'll get that guidance. We'll go through week by week, but we'll talk about it from a high level. We'll give into hey, here's what we're looking for. Here's how you can do it. And then we'll go into coaching calls, right? We have 2 coaching calls a week where we dive in with whatever issues you might have. One's going to be more specific on what we're focusing on that week. The next one is going to be, hey, this is just a general Q&A. If you're having trouble with this, awesome. Bring it into the group. Let's see how we can help you. Maybe Nathaniel and I can't help you with that exact problem, but someone else in the group can. And that brings in the coffee hour, the tea hour on Fridays, where there's not really technically a Q&A area. It's just, hey, let's get together. Let's hang out for whatever you can get, 15 minutes, half hour. We have it scheduled for an hour. So it's building that community. So we're going to improve ourselves. We're going to give you challenges, right? This is supposed to be hard, but we're also bringing in a bunch of people that are doing it with you, right? Nathaniel and I aren't perfect. We're doing this challenge for ourselves just as much as we want to help other people do it. So, that's the biggest thing that you're getting with this is, everybody knows they need to eat better. They know they need to drink more water and all that stuff. But when you're doing it by yourself, it's hard to stay consistent with it. So this group here, what we're building with this challenge, is meant to be the thing that pushes you over the edge, that gets you to that next step, gets you to be consistent, and gets you to see results.
I love it. Yeah, I mean, that being said, the link for Fit Fatherhood will hopefully be in the show notes by the time you're watching this. If not, you can go to the school community and just type in Fit Fatherhood, and you will see our faces on the page that pops up. We look forward to meeting you and helping you guys out through your journey. You can always feel free to DM me on Facebook, on Instagram. I feel like I can speak for Zach at this point that you can do the same on Instagram and Facebook. We want to help you out however we can. If joining Fit Fatherhood isn't the right fit for you right now, then we don't want you to come join Fit Fatherhood, but we still want you to. We still want to be able to help you out. It is December 23rd right now. For the Fit Fatherhood community, we would normally have a coaching call tomorrow night. You are already aware it is Christmas Eve. Zach and I decided we're going to practice what we preach in the community and spend Christmas Eve with our families. So we will see you guys on the 26th for our coaching call, the Q&A style. We have a couple already questions to go over in that call. So I look forward to seeing you. Have a Merry Christmas, Zach. Have a Merry Christmas, anybody who's watching this before. And if you're watching it in the future, hopefully you had a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year's. See you in 2025.
See everyone.
Later.